Welcome back guys, this is Ashwin. In this video we're going to see about classes in Python. Class is a user-defined data type that contains a set of attributes for an object. Attributes can be a variable or a function. So let's define a class. We need to use the keyword class here. Class student, that's the class name we are going to create. And then we will create a variable count equals 0. So this class student has a variable count that is initialized to 0. So this variable is called class variable. Now let's run it. After defining the class, we need to create an object for that particular class. Let's create s equals student. Student is the class name. It is assigned to the variable s. So s is an object of student. You can call this as an object or an instance. Okay, let's run it. Now we can directly access the variable using the instance. So that will be s dot count. Now let's run it. Now the count is 0. If the count is changed to 1, now we need to run it again. Now the count is 1. So that is a simple class object, and we accessed a class variable using the dot operator. Now every class has a constructor. Constructor is a default function. Constructor will be called when the object is created. That is, like we are using s equals student, right? At that time the constructor will be called. By default it will have a empty constructor, so nothing will happen. It just allocates some space for that object, but we can override that function. The function is called init. So let's use the same class here. Now we are going to define a constructor. Def double underscore init and again double underscore. In the argument you need to type self. Self is equivalent to this pointer in some other languages like C or Java. So this self variable is a reference to an object. If we create an object, s will be referenced as self. And then for a student we need a name. That will be self dot name equals name. We are going to get the name from the arguments itself. So comma name, and we will increment the count by 1. So this will be 0, and so we are going to access the count. For that you need to use the class itself. So student dot count plus equals 1. So the count will be incremented by 1 each time an object is created. And let's create another function. That will be user defined function. Def display name. So there will be no arguments. It will just display the name of that particular object. That will be print. The name is self dot name. For that particular object, self reference to the object, and we are printing the name. Okay, that's it for the function. Let's run it. Now we have created a class. Let's create 2 objects for the class. S1 equals student of, we will create a name Ash. Run it. Now we can access the function using the object. That will be s1 dot display name. Run it. Okay, it's showing an error because we didn't pass the self argument, self. So this self will be reference to the object. Let's run the code again. Now it's displaying the name. Let's print the count. That will be s1 dot count, run it. Now the count is 1. You can also access the count using the class name itself. That will be student dot count. It is also 1. Now let's define another object, that is s2 equals student of Naruto, run it. Let's call the function s2 dot display name. Now it displays the name Naruto. Here both the objects are different. For the corresponding object, it prints the name. Now let's display the count, s2 dot count. Now the count is incremented by 1. So the result is 2. So each time if we create an object, the count will be incremented by 1. So we have seen the constructor. The class also has destructor. By default, the destructor will free the space allocated by the object. We can delete the object using del of class name. That will be s2, run it. Now s2 can be accessed. s2 dot display name, run it. See, s2 is not defined because we have deleted the class. Delete the object. And this is our constructor. And we will initialize a destructor here. Similar to constructor, destructor has the same name as del. So that will be def double underscore del double underscore. Again we need to pass the argument self for the object reference. And while destroying the object, we will print the object is destroyed. Okay, let's run the class again. Again we will create an object. Okay, now we will try to delete the object s1. That will be del of s1. If you run it, see, it prints the object is destroyed because it calls the destructor function. Okay, let's come on this. Next we are gonna see about inheritance. In inheritance, we can use the properties of some other class in the current class. Basically we are just inheriting the properties. So we will define a class A. In class A we have a variable temp data equals 10, and let's define a function also, def function, pass the object, and we will print this is base class. When the object is called, it will print the statement. Okay, that is for base class. Let's create another class B. In the argument, we will inherit the class A. So this is for inheritance. So in this class, we will again create some temp variable. It will be 15 and run it. Now we are going to create an object with the class B. Let's create an object equals B, run it. Now let's try to access the variable from the object B, object dot temp, run it. So it can access the object 15. Now let's try to access the object from the class A. That will be object dot temp data. Now we can also access the attribute temp data from class A. Let's call the function also, object dot function, run it. So we can also access the function. This inheritance concept will be very useful if you define some other class and if you want to inherit the properties of that class and use it for some other purpose. Next, we are going to see the concept overriding. That will be overriding. So let's copy the same class again. Now let's create the function def function self and print this is derived class. Now both the classes have same function, but the content is different. Let's define it. Same as always, let's create an object with b. Now if you call the function, what will happen? Whether it will print the base class or the derived class. Let's see it. Object dot function. Run it. So it's printing this is derived class. Basically, this child class overriding the function of the base class. If you want to access the base class function, you can directly use the class A. That will be object equals A. Now object dot fun. Now it's printing this is base class. So in the base class you can print some common statement. This is like a base class, and for the derived class you need to have a specific content. If the base class is a person and the derived class is a student, and we are inheriting the properties of the class person, if we call the function of the student means it can print this is a student. Like that we can use this overriding concepts in many cases, so be sure to remember that. And for the final concept is data hiding. Data hiding. By default all the class variables will be public by default. So let's create a class A and define a variable that is temp equals 10. Now this variable is public. We can access the variable. Now create an object equals A. Run it. Now try to access the variable temp. Object dot temp. Run it. So we can access the variable temp. What if you don't want to access the variable from the object? For that, use double underscore and the variable name data equals 5. So this variable is a private variable. You can't access the variable using the object. So let's run it. Now try to access object dot data. Run it. Object has no attribute data. Let's try to use double underscore also. Now it displays the same thing. Now if you want to display the data, you can define a function def function, pass the object, and in this print self dot underscore data. Now again run it. Still we can't access the data, but if you call the function object dot function, run it. Now we can access the data 5. Basically this private variable can be accessed within the class but not outside the class. It will be very useful if you are developing some softwares. You need to use some private variables so that the user can access that directly. So it will be like data protection. You can use the private variables for passwords and email IDs, etc. So that's it for classes. If this video is helpful to you, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe the channel for future videos. Stay tuned guys.